Darjeeling Himalayan Railways, or DHR, of the toy train is a 610 mm gauge railway that runs between New Jalpaiguri and Darjeeling in the Indian state of West Bengal. Built between 1879 and 1881, it's about 88 kilometers. It climbs from about 100 meters above sea level at New Jalpaiguri to about 2,200 meters at Darjeeling, using 6 zigzags and 3 loops to gain altitude. Ghum station, situated at an altitude of 2,258 meters. 6 diesel locomotives handle most of the scheduled service, with daily tourist trains from Darjeeling to Ghum, India's highest railway station, and the steam-hauled Red Panda services from Darjeeling to Kurseong. Steam enthusiast specials are hauled by vintage British-built B-class steam locomotives. The railway headquarters are located at Darjeeling. Although the railway originally followed the hill cart road, the steepness of the road was more than the locomotives could handle in some areas. In 1882, 4 loops and 4 zigzags were built between Shukna and Goyabadi to ease the gradient to a uniform 1 in 28. The line was extended by a quarter mile to the Darjeeling Bazaar in 1886. The Darjeeling station was renovated in 1891 and Kurseong got a new station building and storage shed in 1896, but the railway was affected by an 1897 earthquake and a major cyclone in 1899. In 1902, heavy rains caused many landslips along the route and Tista Bridge was washed away. Services were maintained with transshipments at the breaks. In 1910, DHR carried 174,000 passengers and 47,000 tons of goods. The first bogie carriages entered service, replacing basic 4-wheel carriages. The Darjeeling Himalayan Railways extension lines were built to Kishanganj in 1914 and Jelkhola in 1915. At Tindheria, the railway works were relocated from behind the locomotive shed to a larger site. The Batasia Loop was constructed in 1919, creating easier gradients on the ascent to Darjeeling. The DHR began facing competition from buses operating on the hill cart road, which took less time than the railway to reach Darjeeling. In 1934, a major earthquake in Bihar shook off all of the northeast of India. Many buildings in Darjeeling were heavily damaged and the railway was also impacted, although it soon recovered and played a vital role in the transporting repair materials. During World War II, Darjeeling Railways transported military personnel and supplies to the camps around Ghum and Darjeeling. In 1951, the railway was purchased by an Indian government and absorbed into the Indian Railway Organization before it was managed by the Assam Railway. Assam Railway became part of the Northeastern Railway in 1952 and part of the Indian Railways Northeast Frontier Railway Zone 6 years later. In 1962, railway was relined at Siliguri and extended by nearly 6 kilometers to New Jalpaiguri NJP to meet the new broad gauge line there. The extension began freight service that year and passenger services in 1964. The locomotive shed and carriage depot at Darjeeling Junction was moved to NJP. The railway was closed for 18 months during the Gotskaland hostilities between 1988 to 1989 and during the COVID-19 pandemic of the country for 18 months between March 2020 to August 21. On August 2021, the service was restarted from New Jalpaiguri to Darjeeling with the new Vistadome coaches for the tourists. The DHR and its assets, including the station lines and vehicles, is owned by the Government of India and entrusted to the Ministry of Railways. The Northeast Frontier Railways documented the railway in a comprehensive register and handles its day-to-day maintenance and management. Several programs, divisions, and departments of the Indian Railways are responsible for operating and maintaining and repairing the DHR. It is protected by the 1989 Railway Act and the stipulations governing public property. It is now headed by a director of the Darjeeling Himalayan Railway. In 2002, number 787 was rebuilt for oil fairing on the same principle as that of Nilgiri Mountain Railway number 37395. Diesel power generators was fitted to operate oil burner and an electrically driven feed pump, and diesel powered compressor was fitted to power the braking system. The locomotive was also fitted with feed water heater. The rebuild dramatically changed its appearance. Trials of the refitted locomotive was disappearing and it never entered regular service. In early 2011, it was in the Tindharia works awaiting reconversion to coal firing. In early 2019, B787 was restored cosmetically and is now displayed on a plinth outside Shiliguri Junction Station. Darjeeling Himalayan Railways has been a part of the nostalgia of hundreds and thousands of tourists who visited the picturesque Darjeeling, going through the forest into the majestic hill town. From the colonial periods till date, it's the heritage that India should be proud of. Shaukat Kumar Basu, Bureau Report, Kalinga Chronicle TV.